ដិតអើយលឺហើយសូមឆ្លើយប្រាប់ខ្ញុំទឹកភ្នែកស្រង់ពួនយំសូមកុំឲ្យនាងទៅណា
ខ្ញុំឈឺចាប់ណាស់ពេលបានអ្នកពីលោកតើធ្វើយ៉ាងណាតើឲ្យអ្នកវិលត្រឡប់
ខ្ញុំនៅស្រណំអាឡងអាឡៃអ្នកណាស់គ្រប់ពីងសំដីចាំច្បាំងឈឺណាស់ពេលលោកចាក់ទៅហ៊ានក៏អំព្រៃហេតុអ្វីចិត្តអ្នកក៏ខើដឹងទេយើងឈឺពេលលឺបណ្ឌិតលីហើយ
អោខ្មែរអើយខ្មែរសូមអ្នកថៃឈ្មោះកែណៃក្រុមពីសំដីតែក្នុងបេះដូងរអោមកដឹកអើយជាតិក្រោយកុំអោយរបបសូមកាន់ជាតិខ្មែររហូតបណ្ឌិតកែណៃជួទឹកភ្នែកនឹងបន្តដំណើរទៅទៀតទួងផ្លូវនោះចង់អៀតអបធានលោកទាំងសងខំ
រូបកាយរបូតគេឈ្មោះអ្នកនៅញញឹមពូជខ្មែររំពឹងវីរជនបណ្ឌិតកែមលី
ខ្មែរអើយខ្មែរសូមអ្នកថៃឈ្មោះកែណៃក្រុមពីសំដីតែក្នុងបេះដូងរអោមកដឹកអើយជាតិក្រោយកុំអោយរបបសូមកាន់ជាតិខ្មែររហូតបណ្ឌិតកែណៃ
ទឹកភ្នែកអ្នកបន្តដំណើរទៅទៀតទួងផ្លូវនោះចង់អៀនអបធានលោកទាំងសងខំ
រូបកាយរបូតគេឈ្មោះអ្នកនៅញញឹមពូខ្មែររំពឹងវីរជនបណ្ឌិតកែលី
សមាជិកគណៈបក្សសង្គ្រោះជាតិប្រាជ្ញាបេរៀនសាមគ្គីក្រុមនានាសង្គ្រោះបម្រើការពារកម្ពុជាខ្មែរត្រឹមរកគ្នាទាមទារសិទ្ធិសេរីឯករាជ្យបូរណភាពអធិបតេយ្យខ្មែរប្រុសស្រីបដូរផ្ដាច់ថែរក្សាមិនឲ្យបរទិញឈ្លានពានមកត្រួតត្រាសម្បត្តិដូនតាធនធានជាតិខ្មែរ
Good evening. Thank you for joining our show today. Basically, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you at, depending on the country you at. Thank you for joining our show. My name is Linda. I am live from Los Angeles, California. I hope you have a great day today. And if it's not, hopefully you make it a great day. We have a great show today. Not great. I mean, it's a great show, but it's a tough show. It's a tough subject to talk about today. It is tough because we will talk about, our topic is gone but not forgotten, Dr. Kem Ley. On July 10, it's going to be his 5th year anniversary that he was killed. So please join us on that. But before we start our show, please help to support our petitions ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. It is very important. Please help to support our petitions. As you know, Dr. Kem Ley was one of the person that was killed, and as of now, going to be 5 years on Saturday, and we still have no justice for him and his family. So please help to sign our petitions at change.org, and please help to sign, support, and share our petitions. I have a short video clip by Her Excellency Musakur. Please watch the clip, and she is actually explaining regarding why we having the petitions at change.org and what are we going to do with the petitions later on, and also please help to sign and share our petition. Thank you.
តើយុត្តិធម៌ឬនីតិភាព
Between 1975 and 1979, the green rice fields of Cambodia became the killing fields of Cambodia. Over 2 million lives were lost, including the lives of my own parents and many of my relatives. The Khmer Rouge wanted a society that is equal according to them. We still live and we are haunted with the legacy of the Khmer Rouge, which is the culture of impunity that continues to exist in Cambodia today. It is for this reason that we have started a campaign, worldwide campaign, a campaign to end impunity in Cambodia by seeking justice for cases, for the executions, for the killings that are organized, that are backed by the state. Among those cases of state-backed killings are the killings of Chivichir, a very famous trade union leader, Bisep Pilaka, a ballet dancer, of Kem Ley, an independent analyst, of Chutvuti, a well-known environmentalist, of Venerable Sun Bunthun, who was advocating for the monks to have the right to vote, including workers who demanded fair wages. The campaign will also advocate for governments that are members of the United Nations to put pressure on the government of Cambodia to conduct independent investigations by using universal tools such as the UN Protocol for Independent Investigation. The campaign will also advocate for governments that believe and want to protect universal human rights to impose sanctions on the leaders of the government of Cambodia who are implicated in these state-backed extrajudicial killings. We ask you to be with us, to support us, to be part of a campaign to end the culture of impunity in Cambodia and to find justice for those who have been waiting for justice for their loved ones killed by the state. There cannot be real peace unless there is justice. There cannot be justice unless there is independent investigation. And then take those cases to an independent justice system. Join us by signing on this petition. Thank you.
យើងរួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជា
Thank you and welcome back. Please help to support our petitions at change.org, ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. So far at change.org, we have 94,500 signatures. Please help us to reach 100,000. So please, hopefully by next week when I'm back on Tuesday, hopefully the signature up to 100,000. I'm hopeful and I hope that you help our petitions. I have two guests today. I will bring them out in a moment. Our topic today is gone but not forgotten. We will talk about Dr. Kem Ley, his legacy. It is, like I said earlier, it is a tough subject, tough in terms of very emotional. And I am hoping that you join me and also hope you learn something. If you have not heard who is Dr. Kem Ley, hopefully you learn something today and hopefully you join me in remembering his life and his legacy and what he done for the country of Cambodia and also his his analyst on Radio Free Asia and many radio and many TV. It's resonate with a lot of Cambodians. So I am hoping today that we all will learn something new, and if not, then we'll hopefully remember his life, that it was taken away almost 5 years ago. On Saturday will be 5 years, exactly 5 years on Saturday. So before any further ado, let me introduce my first guest. Her name is Sita Arunson. She is the CNRP supporter in Fresno, California.
Linda, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Bong? Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. How you been? The last time you were here, probably last month. So how you been?
I'm doing well. Just got back from work. So I'm excited to have some input in today's topic. I have a lot in my mind that I wanna say as well.
Thank you, Bong, for being here. Yes, and we would love to hear from you. And you always brought a new perspective. You always prepare. So thank you for being here today. My second guest, her name is Kathy Dow. She is the CNRP supporter in Calgary, Canada. Kathy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good. How you been?
I've been good. I've been tired lately, but that's a good thing though.
What's going on? How's life in Canada?
My life here is so far so good. I've recently started a second job. So I'm part-time at a medical clinic and now part-time at a pharmacy. So it's been going good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that you keep yourself busy in Canada.
Oh, thanks. Me too.
How's the weather?
So far, it was pretty good. Last week, we definitely got a heat wave. It was one of the highest we've seen. It was in our 30, 35, 40 degrees Celsius. So it might not be as in Los Angeles, but to us here in Canadians, it is pretty hot. But And then a couple of days ago, we did have a hailstorm in part of Calgary where I lived. It got flooded, and now we're back to a normal heat wave. So it's been all over the place.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little crazy here.
Well, welcome, Kathy, to the show, and thank you for being here today, and thank you for coming on to speak about Dr. Kem Ley. And it's like I said, it's going to be a tough subject to talk about because it's tough in terms of emotional. So thank you, Kathy.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you. Let me add Bong Sita back. Hi, Bong. Let me read a little bit in case our audience might not familiar who Dr. Kem Ley is. In a couple of days, July 10, 2021 marks the 5th anniversary of Dr. Kem Ley's death. Dr. Kem Ley was assassinated also as a political motivated attack on July 10, 2016 at a gas station in Phnom Penh while he was having his morning coffee. He is known for his political commentary, including sharp criticism of the current regime, which is the Cambodian People Party. We know it's known as CPP. This made him very popular with many Cambodians because he tell the truth. He said, not just tell the truth. When he come on radio or TV to do an analysis, he not only tell what based on data. Also, he's from what I always heard from him, he always closed the show on what recommendations, what we should do. So he is the 3rd activist that been killed recently during 2016. Activists such as union leader Jia Vijia and also an environmental activist Chutwood T, who's also killed. He was killed in 2012. It's on a different year, but three of them, they contribute to the Cambodian as a whole. So what happened was they did an investigations on the death, and they arrest a man. His name is famously named Chup Samlap. So a man admitted to kill, who confessed on killing him. But we all know that the trial went on for like half a day. On March 23rd, 2017, the killer, who was supposedly a killer, that pronounced himself as a killer, was sentenced to life in court. We will talk about his life and his legacy as we go through the show. I want to share some of the video clip during that time, what's going on, in case our audience who is not familiar with Dr. Kem Ley, and also how tremendously and how big he is and how a legend he is to Cambodian people. I have a short video clip I want to share, and then we'll go on with our quote. I want Bong Sita, and I also want Kathy to share one of his favorite saying and why they choose it and why is it important. But before that, let's watch a short clip on what's going on.
An estimated 2 million Cambodians turned out to march in the funeral procession of activists and former government critic Kem Ley. The procession began in Phnom Penh and lasted 12 hours until mourners reached Ley's hometown in Tramka district.
We wonder if we can find another person like him. He is an important figure that can change the country. He dares to say directly what's happening and what's wrong, and to criticize the government.
Ley was gunned down in July at a gas station store in Phnom Penh during a time of heightened political tension in Cambodia. The activist was a known critic of Prime Minister Hun Sen and his ruling party, in addition to other political opposition parties. The murder has raised suspicions about political conspiracy.
Ley's death is a big loss because he is the only one who dares to speak up and say the truth in society.
A Cambodian court charged former soldier Ut Ang for the killing. Ang says he shot the activist Lai over an outstanding debt of $3,000. He has not yet been convicted. For now, unanswered questions and distrust plague a grief-stricken country.
So that's a short clip of what's going on and how many people was mourning his death, and what he meant to the Cambodian society as a whole, and also not just Cambodian inside Cambodia, it's inside and outside Cambodia. Since we talking about him as being famous on what he famous, also what his quote. And he have a lot of quotes. So let me start with Bong Sita. Do you have a quote that resonated with you, and also what does it mean? And let me how you share that.
Yeah, I do have a quote that he used to tell people. The quote that resonated with me the most is that the one that says, I'm going to read it in Khmer in a little bit and then translate it. បើអ្នកមិនធ្វើអ្វីតរតែសោះក៏គង់តែទទួលរងគ្រោះដែរគ្រាន់តែមិនទាន់ដល់វេនអ្នកប៉ុណ្ណោះ if you don't do anything, if you just stand by, not actively involved in okay, you have a translation part here. You will be the victim as well. It's just not your time yet. So something in that nature, yeah, what you put up here. So that resonated with me a lot. That's how I became involved in this movement as well. Because of those quotes, it reminds me again and again to continue the fight, continue the movement, to keep his legacy alive, to keep, hopefully we'll achieve democracy in Cambodia one day. So that's the quote that I like the most.
Thank you, Bong. Yes, it's very true. What is translated is, if you just sit there and you watch and you thinking it's not happening to me, it's not happening to my family. What his quote said is, it's a matter of time. It's going to be your turn. If you sit there and just watch, it will be your turn. So that is true. Let me have Kathy come up, and Kathy, do you have a favorite quote you would like to share with me and our audience?
Yeah, so it's I believe it's like one of his most famous quotes. It's wipe your tears, continue your journey. So with this quote, it really stuck on to me because he's just showing us that there is hope at the end. Like, just don't give up. There is going to be struggles on the way to get to where we are going now, but it's just like very moving, since he is just empowering Cambodians to like just keep moving forward. Even if we cry along the way, there is going to be a really good happy ending. But like this quote can like go outside of Cambodia as well. If you're having like your own personal issues or anything, you can always just wipe away your tears, just keep moving and just keep fighting on what you're going for.
Thank you, Kathy. Yes, it is true. It's not just about his life, it's about our life as well. What he's saying is, no matter what happened, keep going. I mean, tough time. I mean, I think that's an English word, tough time make tough people or something like that. But what he's saying, just keep going. Just wipe your tear and keep going. Let me share one of my favorite. I like the one that he said, if you speak the truth. And not many people, a lot of pressure lately on to be conformed, to be liked by many people. And I resonate with that. If you're going to speak the truth. And there's nothing more honor than speaking the truth. Let me see. Thank you, Kathy, and thank you, Bong, for sharing that quote. Both of your quote. It's very famous for him that he's saying every time he go on TV or go on radio. He's on commentary. He's always telling, and also he's analyzing the situations. So let me see. Do you both recall where you were at when you heard the news that they murdered him almost 5 years ago? Bong Sita, do you remember?
I don't remember exactly where I was or what I was doing, but I remember watching the news and I was crying, upset, just like the rest of the people in Cambodia you saw in the news that you show earlier in the earlier clips. Was shocking, was, just unbelievable. That we knew he all warned us every, very often, that every time that he come out and speak to answer question to news people or to anybody, he know that it could be the last time that he speak. We all have that in mind. Because we know the situation in Cambodia very well. Anybody who outspoken against the Hun Sen's family don't live long. But at the same time, you just don't believe it. It happened when it happened. Yeah.
Kathy, do you recall where you were at when you heard the news of his being murdered?
Yeah, I was at my uncle's house for dinner. We were having a big family dinner since there was a guest. He came from Cambodia. He was a radio host. I don't remember his name. I was a little bit younger than then. But we were just like having dinner and we were listening to the radio at the same time because to me, it's like a tradition to listen to the radio and have dinner at the same time. But like when news broke out that he passed away, my dad looked at my uncle, my mom looked at my aunt, and it was just like all this big confusion. They were just like, no way, like this can't happen. Are you serious? Like we just listened to him yesterday. Like what is going on? That the most common thing that was there was like, what the heck is going on? Like, what is this? Like, how did he pass away? And then we saw all the videos on Facebook. That's when my mom and my grandma and my aunt, everybody just started crying. But like, I was a little younger and I was like, what's going on? And then my dad told me about like what he was doing for us Cambodians and like about his advocacy and all. So then that's how I found out. I was like, oh, he is an icon to us and who just passed away. And that's how I got a little bit more familiar. And then after that, I became a little bit devastated.
Yes, not just you, not just Bong Sita. I believe the whole world devastated when they heard the news. I remember watching Radio Free Asia, and I believe it's like 6-7 o'clock in the evening. And what I thought was, you know what, every summer it's going to be never the same because we're going to remember him and we're going to remember what an iconic that we lost. And that is July 10th. So that is during the heat of the summer. And I remember that staying home and heard about the news and the devastating news. So let me, I believe I have a different clip that I want to show our audience who is not familiar with who Dr. Kem Ley is. So I want to show some more video, and so that way we can recall what happened 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago. Let me see. Sorry, technical difficulty, but I'll get there. Let's see.
គាត់មានស្រុកកំណើតនៅខេត្តតាកែវហើយគាត់មានតែម្ដាយទេហើយក្រុមគ្រួសារគាត់ក្រខ្លាំងណាស់ខ្ញុំមកនៅទីនេះនៅ
ឆ្នាំ79កាលពីគុំចាស់នៅនេះដល់បែកវាពតមកនៅនេះដែរមកនៅធ្វើកូនផ្ទះមួយទូចទាំងហ្នឹងរៀននៅខេត្តហ្នឹងក៏អត់មានកង់ជិះដែរទាំង3នាក់ហ្នឹងដើរទាំងអស់គ្នាហើយប្អូនខ្ញុំហ្នឹងអត់នៅក្មេងក្នុងភូមិហ្នឹងគេអត់សូវចង់ទៅរៀនទេតែប្អូនខ្ញុំលោកកែមលៃហ្នឹងគាត់ចេះតែប្រម៉ែប្រមូលក្មេងសកលគាត់ហ្នឹង
Should you translate Linda while they're talking?
ដល់សាលាគាត់កាត់ហើយតែមិនយល់រហូតដល់សាលាដែរអញ្ចឹងណាគឺការតស៊ូរបស់គាត់សម្បីតែដើរសម្បីតែគាត់ទៅមើលកូនជាមួយក្មេងៗដទៃទៀតអញ្ចឹងគឺគាត់កាន់សភៅរហូតសភៅគាត់មិនដែរចោល
គាត់មករៀនបរិញ្ញាបត្រនៅរាជធានីភ្នំពេញហើយបន្ទាប់មកគាត់រៀនថ្នាក់បរិញ្ញាបត្រជាន់ខ្ពស់នៅឯប្រទេសថៃហើយពេលដែលគាត់ត្រឡប់មកភ្នំពេញគាត់រកលុយចិញ្ចឹមខ្លួនឯងដោយការដើរលក់កាសែតនិងធ្វើគ្រប់បែបយ៉ាងដើម្បីផ្គត់ផ្គង់ខ្លួនឯង
បើសិនជាមើលអំពីទំនាក់ទំនងរវាងខ្ញុំហើយនឹងបណ្ឌិតកែមលីដោយសារតែយើងមានប្រវត្តិនៃការសិក្សាដូចគ្នាដោយលោកកែមលីខ្ញុំក៏ទាំងពីរនាក់យើងជាអតីតគ្រូពេទ្យប៉ុន្តែក្រោយមកក៏យើងបានចេញទៅសិក្សាផ្នែកខាងវិស័យសង្គមកិច្ចហើយនិងសង្គមសាស្ត្រ
គាត់មានតំណែងសំខាន់មួយនៅក្រសួងសុខាភិបាលប៉ុន្តែគាត់បានលាឈប់ពីការងារហើយគាត់ក៏ធ្លាប់ធ្វើការនៅអង្គការ UNDP ហើយនឹងគម្រោងជាច្រើនរបស់អង្គការសហប្រជាជាតិតែគាត់បានឈប់ហើយគាត់បាននិយាយថាគាត់អាចលះបង់សម្រាប់ផលប្រយោជន៍ប្រទេសជាតិ
គាត់មានកូន5នាក់ហើយកូនទី5បានកើតក្រោយពេលគាត់ទទួលមរណភាព
គាត់មានកូនគាត់ដំបូងគាត់ស្រឡាញ់គាត់សប្បាយចិត្តណាគាត់ស្រឡាញ់កូនណាកូនគាត់ថ្នមណា
ហើយបន្ទាប់ពីនោះមករហូតដល់ខ្ញុំចិត្តដល់ថ្ងៃឆ្លងតលេគាត់គ្រប់ខែហើយគាត់ទៅខេត្តគាត់ទៅសៀមរាបតែពេលគាត់ទៅសៀមរាបហ្នឹងដល់ថ្ងៃគាត់ត្រូវត្រឡប់មកវិញវាជួនពេលខ្ញុំឈឺពោះអញ្ចឹងទៅធម្មតាការងារគាត់ក៏មិនអាចចោលបានដែរអញ្ចឹងគាត់ចុះឡើងដល់ពេលខ្ញុំឈឺពោះហ្នឹងខ្ញុំក៏ប្រាប់គាត់ថាខ្ញុំមានដូចថាដល់ថ្ងៃត្រូវឆ្លងថ្ងៃឥឡូវឈឺពោះកំពុងនៅពេទ្យហើយគាត់ក៏បញ្ញាប់មកពីសៀមរាបមកដល់ស្គុនហើយគាត់ថាដល់តែអញ្ចឹងទៅកូនហ្នឹងក៏មិនតាន់ជាកើតដែររហូតដល់តែគាត់មកដល់មន្ទីរពេទ្យបានកូននឹងកើតបន្ទាប់ពីហ្នឹងមកគឺគាត់ឡើងចុះយើងនៅមន្ទីរពេទ្យគឺគាត់ធ្វើដំណើរទៅខេត្តវិញដើម្បីធ្វើការតតែពេលល្ងាចឡើងចុះពីធ្វើការគាត់ជិះម៉ូតូពីខេត្តមកដល់ភ្នំពេញវិញ
វាបានកើតឡើងក្រោយពេលដែលលោកកែមលីបានលាឈប់ពីការងារជាគ្រូពេទ្យដើម្បីផ្ដោតលើការងារជាអ្នកវិភាគនយោបាយឯករាជ្យទើបសាធារណជនចាប់ផ្ដើមស្គាល់គាត់តាមរយៈកិច្ចពិភាក្សានយោបាយកម្ពុជា
ហើយរបៀបដែលគាត់ធ្វើការជាមួយពលរដ្ឋមិនមែនជារបៀបដើរទៅនិយាយទៅផ្សព្វផ្សាយឲ្យអ្នកស្រុកស្ដាប់ទេភាគច្រើនជាការសួរដេញដោលគ្នាទៅវិញទៅមកដើម្បីបំផុសឲ្យអ្នកស្រុកហ្នឹងមានការវិភាគទៅលើស្ថានភាពដែលគាត់កំពុងតែប្រឈម
វិធីសាស្ត្រក្នុងការដោះស្រាយរបស់គាត់គឺព្យាយាមស្វែងរកឲ្យឃើញភាពពិតរបស់ជំងឺមួយនោះរួចហើយការបង្ករបស់វាបន្ទាប់មកគាត់គិតទៅដល់វេជ្ជបញ្ជាដែលគួរតែផ្ដល់ឲ្យអ្នកជំងឺមួយនោះក្នុងនាមជាវេជ្ជបណ្ឌិតដែលមានគុណភាពម្នាក់
ហើយអ្វីដែលតាក់ទាញមែនតើហ្នឹងគឺគាត់អាចយកឧទាហរណ៍ដែលប្រជាប្រដ្ឋងាយស្រួលយល់ឧទាហរណ៍ដែលជាក់ស្ដែងនៅក្នុងសង្គមយកទៅបង្ហាញដើម្បីឆ្លុះបញ្ចាំងពីបញ្ហាធំនៅក្នុងសង្គមហើយប្រជាប្រដ្ឋយល់
សម្រាប់ខ្ញុំគេឈ្មោះរបស់គាត់គឺជាគំរូជាពិសេសដល់យុវជនជំនាន់ក្រោយ
ខ្ញុំដើរតាមមាគ៌ារបស់គាត់ហើយខ្ញុំក៏បានរៀនពីគាត់ច្រើនដែរហើយមានអ្នកដឹកនាំវ័យក្មេងច្រើនជាង 3000 នាក់ទទួលបានការបណ្ដុះបណ្ដាលពីគាត់
តែឆ្លុះបញ្ចាំងពីបេះដូងរបស់ប្រជាប្រដ្ឋផងដែរថាប្រជាប្រដ្ឋលោកស្រេកឃ្លានព័ត៌មានប្រជាប្រដ្ឋចង់បានអ្នកដែលជួយពន្យល់ជួយប្រាប់ជួយវិភាគជួយផ្ដល់នៅគំនិតដោយបងខេមលីអញ្ចឹងហើយសារអញ្ចឹងហើយជាការសោកស្ដាយជាការបាត់បង់មួយសម្រាប់ប្រទេសជាតិយើងរធ្ងន់ធ្ងរមែនទែនបាទ
2 ឆ្នាំមុនពលរដ្ឋខ្មែររាប់ម៉ឺននាក់បានចូលរួមហែសពសម្រាប់ដំណើរចុងក្រោយរបស់គាត់ត្រឡប់ទៅស្រុកកំណើតវិញ
យើងមានអារម្មណ៍ថាគាត់ស្លាប់ទៅមែនពិតប៉ុន្តែគេឈ្មោះគាត់ការស្រឡាញ់របស់ប្រជាពលរដ្ឋជាប់នៅក្នុងបេះដូងគាត់អស់ហើយលុះត្រាតែខ្ញុំដេកលក់បានខ្ញុំភ្លេច
បន្ទប់កូនខ្ញុំនៅចម្រានហ្នឹងឈ្មោះកែមលីគាត់ឆ្លប់មកសម្រាកនៅកន្លែងហ្នឹងខ្ញុំលើយាយខ្ញុំនិយាយថាគាត់ល្អហើយគាត់កាន់ខាងខ្មែរយើងជួយខាងខ្មែរយើងប្រជាជនខ្មែរយើងខ្ញុំលើយាយនិយាយប្រាប់តាមឡើងទៅ
គាត់គឺជាមនុស្សល្អម្នាក់ហើយគាត់បានផ្ដល់ចំណេះដឹងជាច្រើនដល់ប្រជាពលរដ្ឋខ្មែរគាត់ចូលចិត្តជួយមនុស្សឲ្យយល់ដឹងអំពីការពិត
Bong Sita, can you unmute yourself? That video was showing his life. Like Natmi Pauline said, he is bigger than life. His legacy will live on. How do you feel, Bong Sita, after seeing that video? It's getting more emotional now.
Yeah, you cannot help it with without wanting to choke up when you watch a video about him and his life. To me, he was not only political and social analyst and commentator, but he was also a teacher, a mentor to many youth in Cambodia and to many people in Cambodia. He speaks the truth. He doesn't just tell people what's going on, but he educates them and get the people involved in solving the problem. I saw many, when he was, when he was alive, I saw many clips. I follow him, before he was murdered. I follow him a lot back then. He go to town, in outside in the countryside. He involved with people's lives. He asked them how their lives are, and then he incorporate his knowledge, and then he helped them raise awareness of what's the problem that he he understand of the situation, and then he make people think, and then try to solve problems themselves instead of just telling them what's the problem. So I really like his technique, his method of informing people. That's how people remember him. That's how I remember him because of the way he bring people awareness, bring up the awareness to people and of the social, environmental, everything's about their lives and bring those awareness to them. Yeah.
Thank you, Bong Sita. Yes, from video clip, it's very true. He's out there. He's not just like the commentator said, he's just not just out there and preaching. He's actually out there and asking people how they're doing, what they're doing, what's going on in town, and he's actually out there in presently and experience firsthand on what it's like to be the same thing as the town people, the people in the forest, people in town, people in the rivers. So he's out there, and that's how he does his research. But he's not just out there preaching on what people should do. He's actually out there and understanding. we did lost an important icon. Kathy, can you explain like when what is it in your personal opinion? What did we lost? What?
No worries. Yeah. So we definitely lost an advocate for the truth, and a mentor, a teacher who is educating us with all, what's happening in Cambodia. So we lost someone who was our voice for so long, but the past 5 years, it has been a struggle. But when he was alive, his voice was one of our main sources to get the truth out there. And it's just really important that we just keep his legacy on and continue what he left behind. Because if we don't, we won't reach the end of our path. We need to have our own rights and freedom. And that's what he was trying to connect with people in their villages, how he's trying to solve the problems by like asking and trying to communicate with them and all that. And so we just really lost an important voice for us Cambodians.
Thank you, Kathy. Let's talk about his I guess we can talk about the reason why he was killed. Cambodian. As we said about, he's a Cambodian political commentator and advocate. So Dr. Kem Ley, his murder remained a highly sensitive political issue in the Kingdom of Cambodia. Why is it so sensitive? Why I believe the regime not even allowed to remember him or not even allowed to celebrate. Now they use COVID-19 as a way of not doing anything. But it's been many years. Not many people allowed to commemorate his death. I know many people would like to go to the gas stations that the location that he got shot, but that was not allowed to even pray or put incense on it. Sita, why is his death it's a very sensitive subject to the regime right now? I mean, I've been sensitive for the last almost 5 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not just now that they're using COVID as an excuse, but it's every year that on his anniversary of his death, people go to his grave, and also go to the gas station that he was killed at. They always make some sort of scenes. The law enforcement people make scenes, stop the people from go and respect the and memory in his memory. The reason is because they don't want people to remember him. They don't want people to talk about him because he speaks the truth about Hun Sen and his government and his regime, and they don't like that. The truth is hurting the regime, and so it's very sensitive subject to the Hun Sen regime. So they don't want anything has to do with Kem Ley, because before he died, we all know that he was killed because he speak about Hun Sen's family and the corruption. That's the very last speak that he gave to the, I think, Radio Free Asia interview him, and he was talking about that. And sure enough, the next couple of days he passed away. He was murdered. So
yeah, the report was, I believe, it's done by Global Witness. The title was Hostile Takeover. The report found that the Hun Sen family has over 114 companies in Cambodia, including mining, agriculture, electricity, media, garment, forestry, and transportations. So the Hun family have control or holding on to every aspect of the Cambodia financial, money. That's how, not just about, this is we talking about, they have tied to Apple, they have tied to Visa, Procter and Gamble, Tommy Hilfiger, Polo, Ralph Lauren. So all of them, it has their name on it, and every aspect of that, they benefit, basically it benefit them. So the hostile takeover, you know, revealing that everything, every fabric of Cambodia society that had to do with financially or having making money, it's owned by them, and that is revealing that, you know, how powerful and how corrupt they are, because they're not allowed, it's not a fair chance, because it's only by the Hun family. So it is a sensitive issue. The report also found that was often said the family has a history of hiding wealth. So their family has so much wealth, and not many people would even, I mean, we would know that they are so rich, but at the same time, this report with documentations, oh, I believe it's like a lot of pages, like I'm could be mistaken, like 100 or 90 pages, but at the same time, it's like it was 3 different report that I read. It was like 3 different year that talking about, not 3 different report that sum up all these Hun Sen financial informations. So he brought up a very sensitive issues that reveal how financially corrupted they are, and financially how money grabbing they are to the Cambodian society, where people are barely living on $1 a day, and then on that money they also go and buy food that actually owned by that family. So it's a very sensitive subject. Let me see, we almost hitting everything. Let me see. We have a petitions calling ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. And that petition started almost a year ago, actually started on his anniversary, on his 4th year anniversary of being killed. Kathy, you heard it, the ending impunity for justice in Cambodia before. From your opinion, can you explain what it is? What are we trying to do at change.org?
I think, in my opinion, what we are trying to change is we're just trying to change the regime. We just want to have Cambodians to have their own sense of freedom, their own sense of right, and allowing them not to be controlled by just one government. And the government's been reigning for 40 years now, per se, and so we're just trying to change that. All we just want is just our own little space of bubble of peace, because we've been suffering for over 30 years now, and just because from the Khmer Rouge, just because from that until now. So we just really want to change the ending of this regime, to have a new regime, for someone who actually cares about us and who wants to speak for us.
Thank you, Kathy. Yes, the goal is to change the regime. It's been a power for, I mean, after Khmer Rouge, it's only one party, which is CPP, and that is over 40 years. Sita, can you help with ending impunity for justice in Cambodia? What is it about, and how people can support that?
People can support by go to change.org, or the link that you will be putting up, sign the petition, share as many as you can, family, friends, your social media platform, to sign, to get the number. The next goal is to get 100,000. You mentioned earlier.
Yeah, we are at 94,000. I mean, when I checked before this show was 94,500. I'm assuming must be a little bit over that, but I would love it when I come back next Tuesday to see it's 100,000 signature, and we the petition's looking for 500,000 signature. But I would be really happy when I come back next week, we get at least 100,000 signature, and that is really important that people support our petitions. I stress
I'm
it so
sure
many
we'll
times.
get it by next week because more people are aware of it now. We just need to continue that movement to people to help share and sign to bring justice to Dr. Kem Ley, to many other who were killed, and no justice being nobody finding justice in the country for them. The government are the one who did all that, and they are burying all those crime under the rugs, and they're not doing anything about it. So we on the outside, we around the world actually doing this petition is to help bring justice for those people who they murder and for their families. That's the main goal for this this petition.
Yeah, it's not just Dr. Kem Ley. Dr. Kem Ley, it's been 5 years. Saturday going to be 5 years, and we have not seen any justice. His family have not seen any justice on that because the regime is the same person. So it's backstage killing in Cambodia. And Kathy, when we sign the petition, is it anonymously, or you have to put your name and sign your life away, or how the petition work?
I wrote the petition. I signed it. I think I signed twice, but there you can put your name definitely. But I think there is also an option to be anonymous as well. But I always like to put my name because I feel more like powerful to like know that I'm putting myself out there. So I don't like to keep it anonymous. I like to know who's signing the petition.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah, go ahead, Sita.
I signed myself. I help many people sign as well. You have an option, just like Kathy said, to when you sign, of course you have to put your name, but you have an option of clicking those two buttons on the bottom under your name to hide your name. You don't have to show your name that you signed. So that's a good thing that for some people who's in Cambodia, right now living in Cambodia, they're afraid of, Hun Sen might see their names and come after them and things like that. So it's a good thing there's option. So yeah, please do sign. You do have an option, like we mentioned, that you don't need to show your name if you feel like your life is being threatened, or you're afraid that your family get threatened and things like that. So yeah, please help sign those petitions. Okay.
Yeah, it's ending, and the title of the petition is Ending Impunity for Justice in Cambodia. And let me stress, what I want to stress is you do not need to be Cambodian to sign it. You can be from any country, any race, any religion, as long as you believe that, we want justice. We want justice for backstage killing in Cambodia. Dr. Kem Ley was the latest one. It's been 5 years, almost 5 years. Just say 5 years. And there's no justice for his family. And the same thing with Jia and other many activists that dedicated their life to environmental, and for Dr. Kem Ley, dedicating his life to telling the truth, to tell as he see it, and also to reveal how Hun Sen and his regime have so much of the money and wealth, and where that they're getting from. Those are they getting from the Cambodian people. So so please help to sign our petitions. Sita, we need 500,000 signature. What are we going to do after we got 500,000 signature?
We're gonna bring it to the international community so they can put pressure on Hun Sen's government. Right now, we having a long way to go, but we'll get there. When we get there, the international people will will make a lot more noise, and the international community will see that there's people who care about situation in Cambodia and who want to bring justice to Cambodia, and it will bring awareness to. Right now, they already aware. It's just that they want to see how many people, like general people, care about the situation. So once we put a lot of signature, they will say, okay, this is important. You know how change.org are. If a lot of people sign, will bring attention to somebody somewhere. So that's what our goal is, to bring attention to the international community who will, pay attention to the Hun Sen regime and to the killing, to, everything that's happening in Cambodia. So that's what our goal is.
Yes, at the end of this show, I will play Her Excellency Musakur ending impunity for justice again, so that way we can all watch it and we can understand why we're doing it, why we're seeking petition. It is really important and really vital that everybody is supporting the petitions, because this is like I keep saying, I'm stressing, this is the 5th anniversary of his passing, of Dr. Kem Ley passing, and there's many people that went to his funeral, and there's many people that watching his funeral, and we would love for everybody to sign the petitions, who would love to, bring closures to the family. His wife, and he left with 5 sons. They moved from Cambodia because their life was being threatened, but at the same time, he's not the only one there. We need to stop what we call state-backed killing in Cambodia, and that is the killing, and the killing that never find any murder, that murder, but you can never find who did it, and it's still continue on. So we need to stop that, and we need to support the petitions. Please help to support our petitions ending at change.org. We are at the end of the show. I want to start with Bong Sita, and then start with Kathy, and then continue with Kathy, and see if you have any additional thing you want to add regarding Dr. Kem Ley, and also regarding ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. Go ahead, Bong.
Just want to add what everybody already said, that we are not only, the petition is not only about finding justice for those who've been killed already, but it's about the future, that this regime's gonna do more damage on other people who's, speaking out, who's, like right now, those political, those people who speak out, they being thrown in jails, and, and they are not as big as Dr. Kem Ley was, but the action of the regime doing a lot of damage. So the petition itself, in a way, bringing justice for them, but in a way, and another way is also to stop the end of state-backed killing, which is Hun Sen and his regime continue to kill in the future as well. So if anybody who love and who want to help to bring democracy and justice to Cambodia in general, and human rights, for Cambodian people, please do sign and help share.
Thank you, Bong. How about you, Kathy?
I just want to add that just to keep fighting for what we're actually going through. We're so close to 100,000 signatures, and we're going to continue fighting until we get the justice we deserve. So I just want to say that just keep sharing, keep signing, because once we get enough, we will soon have our own power to take down the regime. So
Thank
just
you,
keep
Kathy.
Signing, keep sharing. You're welcome.
Thank you, Kathy. Bong Sita, remind our audience what is the Kem Ley quote that you said earlier. Here, I'll put it up.
The English version one.
The English version. Let me put it up. Let me see.
You will also be the victim, or you will also be victimized even if you do nothing. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, it's, you know, right now you might be the regime might not do anything to you and your family, but down the road we don't know. It's just a matter of time, like his quote says. We already seeing more and more people nowadays about land grabbing and all that stuff too. So it's just a matter of time. So rise up, speak up for human right, for your right, for your family right, so you can become more active in the society, especially people in Cambodia and people outside Cambodia. You can help many different ways. One way is by signing petitions.
Thank you, Bong. How about you, Kathy? Remind your audience what's your quote again?
Wipe your tears, continue your journey. Don't fall, don't stress. Even if you do fall, you'll rise back up again.
Thank you, and let me remind our audience. That means Pauline Som just remind us that we do have remembering ceremony all over the country, all over the inside and outside the country. I mean, when talking about U.S., Canada, France. Where I live is in Southern California. If you are closer to Southern California, please join my temple. Join me, and my temple is in Pomona. The address will be 1145 West Penn Street, Pomona, California 91766. Please join me. We will be at the temple. Southern California CNRPA will be at the temple, Pomona temple. So I'm just plugging it in. If you are around the areas, or you are in Los Angeles, San Diego, Long Beach, Ontario, stop by our temple. We will remember Dr. Kem Ley, and you don't need to be, you just need to be a person who care and concerned about peace and justice, and who feel that it is unfair that his life was taken such a young age. And so come and support come and support our temple, and also come and remember his memory as well. So that's my weekend this weekend. Beside that, thank you, Bong Sita, and thank you, Kathy, for being here today. I appreciate that, and it is tough, a tough subject, and thank you for put a smile on both of your face when you talk about it. We all know that it's very emotional when we watch the video. We also talk about this. So thank you both for being here. Thank you both for being so strong for the last hour. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we are coming to an end. So I like to thank you, our audience, that watching our show today. And our topics are gone but never forgotten, Dr. Kem Ley, and on Saturday it will be the 5th year anniversary that his passing, his murder, basically, in short. And I want to close the show by saying, no matter what, Kathy quote, so no matter what, if the sky is gray, sunny, or blue, wipe your tear and continue your journey. So I wish you have a fantastic evening or fantastic day if you're in Cambodia, wherever you're at. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you.